Hi everybody, how's it going? I'm Pabs, a writing VTuber and an artist, and today we're going to be doing a little bit more comic work. So, last day... I was about to say last day. It's weird that we can say last night, but not last day, right? Anyway, last night we worked on a little bit on page 5 of the comic that I've been working on with my buddy Raphael, and yeah, we're kind of going to continue on that. Like I said, I find that the line work is probably the part where it needs the most attention, because usually after that it's just like filling it in, you know, giving it the right shading. And while that's definitely not something that can be looked down on, it's definitely, for me at least, a lot easier. So let's head into the working screen. Yeah, I don't know how to put it. Like, I have like a lot less patience when it comes to like the coloring and the like parts after the line art. It's important to understand like your strengths and weaknesses. I don't have like a weakness per se in coloring, but I do have a weakness in that I have, you know, because of the way that I do things, I usually end up exhausted by the time that it gets to the coloring phase. So I don't, you know, it's like I'm starting to waver at that point. Right, this is where we left off yesterday. I am wondering if maybe I shouldn't try to find, okay, like with the background, I don't think it's aligned anymore. All right, I'm going to duplicate the background. Going to delete everything in this layer. Then, let's see. I don't know if this necessarily looks better is the thing. I'll also have to bring back the door because ain't no way I'm drawing that twice. I feel like this almost feels like they're pressed up too closely against the wall. Yeah, more like this, honestly, would be better. It's a little bit difficult because sometimes it takes another line to snap to, but even then it's usually kind of easy to corral. Praise be. Alright, let's see here. So I've got an idea for how to do this. Okay. Get rid of the lines up here. And then that means that only the door would be left, and we can just kind of smush that to fit in where it would normally be in this scenario. Like so. I don't know if that's going to make it look a little too crowded, but that's fine if it does. Here we go. I gotta hide the ruler on all these different frame layers, because otherwise, whenever I get too close to like the border, it'll start snapping to that. Speaking of which, I actually gotta retrieve these guys from here. It's kind of fascinating trying to see, like, hold up. It's kind of fascinating to me, like, doing this sort of thing. I feel like if I had tried this on my other... What is the fucking... What is up with your pose? I know I'm the one who put you in it, but, like, it's a little scuffed. How far forward would I have to be to... Okay, the answer is pretty far forward. Oh no, we're in total pitch darkness. Okay, yeah, no. Alright, so the way we're gonna do this then is we're just gonna, like, pop this one out of there. Just very briefly. She's not gone, she's just invisible now. She went to an upstate butterfly farm, where she has lots of room to run with other dogs. Yeah. Okay. Let me see here. I made her a lot lower in this one than I would have normally. I think she might be a little high up. Are both of these guys planted to the ground properly? Are they not floating in the air? Yeah, no, there we go. And zoom in a little bit more like this. What kind of pose did she have in the... Okay, I see. I feel like I almost need to drag this arm out forward a little bit. This one needs to be moved a little bit to the left too. Just a little bit of a twist to the top part. Actually, we might move the hawk a little bit to the left too. You ever have one of those days where you didn't end up doing much, but you're still kind of exhausted? I think that's going to be me today. I think today is definitely going to be one of those more low key kind of days. Now then, I do wonder why what makes it very difficult. I wonder for like the perspective lines to form like this. Yeah, see, like they kind of vanish right there. It's just very strange. Well, right now we don't need to worry about that just yet. Yeah. Oh yeah, I tried out this new game yesterday with my buddy Preston. He actually rated into stream. The game actually was it? Okay, I don't remember if this was yesterday or the day before yesterday. Jeez, memory's getting spotty again. Anyway, I was playing this game with him called Yomi Hustle, and it is so much fun. So it's basically like a fighting game, but instead of having to like have instant reactions, what you have to do is you actually have to commit to a move and then see what happens. So I think that I might not be explaining this well. Why is this not cutting? Oh, I see. Hang on. Anyway, you can think of it a little bit like chess, right? So you make a move and then you need to wait for your opponent to make their move. It's kind of turn-based almost. It's not like instantaneous like it is in normal fighting games. And I found that I have a much better experience not getting frustrated with that kind of system compared to like a fighting game, because I feel like in a fighting game I'm almost like in a frenzied like bloodlust state, right? Because it's supposed to invoke that in you. You're supposed to want to like go nuts. You're supposed to want to go ham. You want to mash buttons, but you shouldn't, because that's not what you're supposed to do in fighting games. But because the pacing of this one is like deliberately slowed down, it makes it a lot easier to just kind of take a step back and think. I mean, I don't do that is the thing. Like it's still giving you time to think, but I just don't take that opportunity as well as I should. But I have fun with it. Yeah, like I said, I have a much easier time not getting frustrated at that game than I do like with normal fighting games. Granted, my only experience so far with like fighting games in any real capacity has been Guilty Gear Strive, which is a great choice, but still, like, that doesn't exactly translate to a whole lot of experience. So I recognize that I may be talking out of turn here. I don't know. Everybody's adapted to like different playstyles, right? I think it's good that there are different games to respect that. Also, all the characters are stick figures, which isn't really like a... I don't know if it's a selling point to everyone, but I think it's funny. Let's see. The front, I need to like go out and like get a motorcycle helmet to figure out, or like a motocross helmet, just so I can figure out the friggin' angles on this mask already. I have an idea of, wait a second, I can just use YouTube for this. Is there has to be like a, why am I grinning like that? Oh, I pressed my grin key. Yeah, the thing is, right, I have a policy to not, hold up. Let me like, motocross helmet review. Let me take a look at this. This is what I was looking for. Okay, hang on. All right, let's see. Let me open up the browser source. All right, so see here. Yeah, what I am looking for is that kind of like snout shape, right? Oh yeah, that's good. That's real good. Okay. All right. Yeah, I was this is exactly what I was hoping for, because they have that kind of turnaround, right? Today I am a genius. All right, this one's got kind of the right angle. Hang on. Let me get rid of the browser source for a second. And flip. And lower the opacity. Okay, yeah, that looks much better. I think. It's better than going in blind, at least. Not quite at the right angle, though. But this angle actually works, too, come to think of it. Alright, let's just kind of fit that snugly over her head. The head dimensions would still be appropriate. It's just the direction that's a little bit different. Gonna just very quickly do a little bit of magic here. Alright. Over here. Let's see. Because I wanted the snout... Okay, so there's this, like, hockey mask type hole arrangement in the front of the snout. I'm sure that's got, like, a proper term, nose guard or mouth guard or something, but I like to call it the snout. Okay. Okay. I'm also starting to get a little concerned that it's starting to look a little bit too skull-shaped, like, just with the design. I am guilty on more than one occasion of just designing something and being like, hey, this looks nice, doesn't it? And somebody just going to me like, hey, that looks like something the supervillain would wear. And I'm like, damn, you're kind of right. You know, I have had those experiences firsthand. So I want to be mindful of that, right? Okay. Connect the vector line. Noise. Can we connect these two too? Kinda. It works. Oh yeah. I ended up going back after the stream yesterday. I ended up rereading kind of bits and pieces of The Prince of Cats to gather some what do you call references for the poses and or even for like the action line. And good news, there are some good references in here. Like for example, this smear kind of thing on the leg. But what I've noticed a lot is that in these panels, a lot of it is either, you know, a lot of the implied action I just noticed this dude going like, what the fuck? A lot of the implied action comes from like blood trails, right? This panel, for example, is actually really good. This one too. But yeah, you can see what I mean. Like, for example, right here, you can tell the direction that the Kopesh is slicing due to the blood trail. After that, I weirdly enough, I was also trying to think of other good comics that had really clean action lines, and I fucking remembered, of all things, Baki the Grappler, which has some of the best just communication of movement in any comic ever. I respect Baki the Grappler a lot because it is just so committed to making every character look ugly as sin. I say this in the most respectful way that I can. Every character in Baki is absolutely fucking ugly, and I love it so much. I think like they're due to the this isn't to say that there aren't like fucked up weird storylines out there these days, right? I've read Chainsaw Man. I know that there are still like these messed up storylines in the world where just batshit crazy stuff happens every 50 seconds. But I feel like we lost something once we lost the ability to like make characters like ugly on purpose like that. You could say that it like the thing is it's also not real. Like I don't know how to put it. The kind of like beauty standards that anime has, right, are unrealistic in the sense that they're like too cute. But I think like the standards of beauty in like Baki, for example, is kind of like almost in the opposite direction. Like in most cases, right, this kind of there's like this thing called like making this book, right, this book called Making Comics, written by Scott McCloud. It's basically mandatory reading if you ever to like take anything on comics, right? If you want to like study comics, that's going to be a name that pops up. That and a fucking what's his nuts? I forgot a name. Andrew Loomis. I still haven't studied Loomis. I still need to study Loomis. But yeah, Scott McCloud's Understanding Comics is one of those names that pops up very frequently. And in it, he talks very early on about the idea of iconicism, right? So, like, if I draw 4 lines, I've made a face, right? This is very readily recognized as a face: a happy face, a sad face, and at another line, an angry face. That is seen as an expression, and we can tell that those lines are a face because that's an icon. We can recognize ourselves. I can draw like a super detailed, like I can draw like a super detailed like 5-minute. Like portrait right here, right? Of just say the same bald guy, maybe. And we can still recognize that's a face because we know, we have mouths, we have eyes, we have ears to listen with. We recognize both of these as faces, but one of them is more simplified. And we still recognize that as a face pretty readily because of that idea of icons. So what I've noticed, right, is that and this is going to get pretty cartoony, right? Like if you go to like into like anime style, just like the most generic as you're at like a fucking Barnes and Noble in 2005 and you see like a book on how to draw anime, right? And you see like it emphasizes like big eyes and like very tiny mouths and all that. Hang on. I'm going to at least make sure that the eye sparkle is in the same way in both pictures. I have that much integrity as an artist. You know, you have this kind of like anime style with like the wild, big hair, tiny mouths, huge eyes, thin eyebrows, and everything. And, you know, it's taking that idea of iconicism, icons, that idea of icons, and simplifying it and exaggerating it in a way that's like very cute. It's very charming. It's very like, you know, it's adorable. What I argue that like Baki does is that it takes that same idea, right? Like, let me pick a good face here. Like, it's still got that kind of cartoony idealism to it, right? Like, it's still got like that kind of exaggerated part to it, but instead of going in that kind of like cutesy direction, it's kind of going in an opposite direction. It's kind of like reverting backward. It's kind of like reverting towards this more realistic side while still maintaining that kind of like cartoonishness, if that makes sense. And I think that's kind of what gives it a very distinctive art style. Like if you see a panel of Baki, you immediately recognize that as a panel of Baki, because nobody else draws like that. It's kind of the same thing that happened. A similar but different thing is happening in JoJo, but like that one is just very like realistic details and proportions and everything. Like JoJo is like very, I don't know how to put it. Like, you know, people are like, oh yeah, Rocky studied like Greek sculptures and stuff like that for the JoJo poses, and like you can see that that's got like very real, very kind of like marble, gypsum bust carved out of marble or whatever kind of energy to it. But Baki has like a very unique energy of its own. I haven't read most of Baki. I read a little bit of like the early chapters of the manga. I think up to around the arc where we like see Baki as a kid. And I remember I got hooked on it by the 2018 Netflix anime. I saw the Netflix anime when it first came out, and I was like, oh man, this looks kind of fun, because, you know, I was 18. I had Netflix for the very first time in my life. We didn't have Netflix growing up. I was like, oh man, time to watch some anime. This Baki thing looks kind of cool. And then I went and watched the first episode, and I was like, this is the most unhinged shit I have ever seen in my entire life. And then I hit the next episode button. Is the hat thing too tall? I feel like the hat thing is too tall. Is it? No. No. It's just the right height, more or less. Perfect. Okay. But yeah, I love the art of Baki. I really do. I try not. I'm trying to not show this panel on the left here, because that's just of one of the characters kicking a prehistoric caveman in the nuts, which I don't think anybody needs to see, frankly speaking. God. Yeah, anyway, I first got hooked on the Netflix anime, and then I started watching the series properly. Or, no, reading the chapters properly from, like, chapter 1. The Netflix anime is weird because it picks up in, like... There, like, a couple of OVAs had already, like, done most of, like, the early chapters and everything. So now the Netflix anime like adapted a fairly like advanced arc where essentially the plot is that like for some fucking reason all of the most powerful incarcerated martial artists on earth just decide to head to Tokyo to get their asses beat for some reason. I don't know why that happened. I think like the literal justification in universe for it was, yeah, no, it's just a wacky coincidence of life. Now go out there and almost die to this inmate. Very solid start though. I do remember like actually getting very well hooked on the whole thing. Hang on. There we go. Yeah. So it kind of evolves into like this fight between like the martial artists in you know the protagonist martial arts characters and these escaped convicts. Lots of interesting stuff going around. Lots of interesting fights. Yeah, I think what people need to understand about Baki is that it is profoundly stupid in a completely sincere way, which I think is very special. And I don't say that in that, like, when I say it's stupid, I don't mean like, it's not worth your time. It's absolutely worth your time. You just need to recognize that some of the stuff that goes on in there is just absolutely fucking stupid. All right, like chapter 1 introduces this weird device called a template, which apparently is supposed to like boost your athletic performance by like 30% by aligning your spine and your teeth or something. It immediately gets cast aside by the character using it, and it never comes up again. They brought in a fake medical device that doesn't even exist in real life to essentially take the part of a jobber. This is chapter 3, by the way. Like, this is just like the first few chapters. Yeah. What other crazy shit happened in Baki? Like, there was the fact that like there's like this gorilla running around that's like sapient and can communicate with humans, and that's like not even a plot point. That's like a footnote in Baki's backstory. Let's see, what else is there? There's like a Yakuza boss who has like the grip strength to like fucking tear apart a deck of cards. What else is happening? Oh yeah, the main character has a weird genetic trait that makes him like grow a face on his back. Not an actual face, like his back muscles just turn into a face if he flexes hard enough. And it eventually starts killing him at some point. I don't remember how that one worked out. What else happened? Oh yeah, one time the protagonist got poisoned by a weird Chinese kung fu technique. Almost died. Went to a Chinese tournament while almost dying. Got struck by a guy who just so happened to use the same poison technique but in a slightly different way. Got cured and then immediately gained back all his weight by just eating a huge meal, like a One Piece character. What else happened? Two guys had a fight on a roller coaster. That was fun. Yeah, Baki is wonderful, and I really should pick it up again. I remember that I stopped reading because the chapters that I was reading of it just like really fell off for me. I think it was around the time when like the like arc of following Baki's backstory as a kid kind of ended up ending. Does that make sense? I think like after that it started getting like I don't know why I dropped it after that. I forget why. I don't think it was like a content issue, but yeah, although some questionable shit does happen in Baki, like I don't think it was like that. Oh god, they don't make him like that anymore. Like I said, there's still plenty of crazy stuff going around, right? Like I mentioned, Chainsaw Man, it like is still super weird, but it's in a very it's weird in like a modern way. This thing, Baki and like JoJo, I think, are weird in a very kind of like retro way. I don't know how else to put it. Like I think it might be, and I don't know if this is the best way to put it or if it's even like accurate whatsoever. I feel like they were made like there's a period of weirdness that occurred after the internet and but before social media, and there's like a period of weirdness even before the internet. I feel like Baki and JoJo are both kind of exemplify that idea of like weird before the internet, and then like something else would exemplify weird after the internet, but before social media was a huge thing. I don't know. That's a distinct vibe that I get. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. Yeah, but that's my huge big rant on like that comic. Again, I feel like I should emphasize, despite all I said about it, and if any of it I've said sounds negative, it's absolutely not. You should try to read Baki, if only again for like these really crisp action lines. Let's see here. Mm-hmm. Oh, hang on, I messed up here. Here we go. Oh yeah, another fucked up thing that happened in Baki. A guy got set on fire one time, blocked it with like a karate technique, and then stopped being on fire for some reason. I think the implication was like he literally did the technique so fast that it got all the oxygen out, so the fire couldn't be on anymore. I don't remember anything about that, but yeah, astonishing what happens in there. I think I make. Hang on. I think I am supposed to make the bit between the goggles a bit smaller. Let me just put some of that back. Let's see. This one a little bit lower. Okay, nice. I should drink some water. Okay. Okay, would that be her right hand or her left hand? No, it'd be her right hand, so I need to bring in the gun. Yeah, it would be her right hand. Maybe up here? Oh, here we go. Oh, this is on a separate layer. My bad. Hang on. Let me just get rid of this layer here. Alright, flip that around. And not quite. Try that again. Here we go. Alright. Firmly grasp it. Maybe a little bit smaller would be better. Yeah, I think that's good. Maybe a little bit more rotated, too. Perfect. Okay. There we go. Then after that... I feel like I need to change the light source a little bit here so I can actually see what's going on with the gun, but I think I can piece it together as well. I've started to draw this gun enough times that I can kind of figure out where like each piece is supposed to be. Actually drag this one a little bit further back. Okay, I can see that this is supposed to be like the little like ray gun bit here, I think. All right, forget this. I'm shifting around the light source. Where's the little... Aha. Yeah, this is what happens when you like bake in colors to the object that you're trying to make. And yep, see, I was a little bit off. Maybe like that? Yeah, I think that cuts it pretty well. I was a little bit off with the little ray gun bit. It's right here. Okay. Yeah, another thing that I wish I could have done more properly is actually set these like slants here a little bit further to the side like this. Here we go. And like that. Perfect. Then right here. Oh yeah. I recently took an English test for some administrative stuff, right? It was one of those like standardized ones. And I don't know how to put it. It was honestly one of the funniest experiences I've ever had. I actually talked a little bit about how I was taking the test earlier. Funniest experience I've had, I think, with like a formalized exam just yet. See, I have taken an English test before. I took the TOEFL way back when to get into university at Great Harbor. But that one was like that one felt like actually anxiety inducing to me because I wasn't really familiar with the test area. I wasn't like familiar with the test location. It was like this big huge thing. There were like 500 people taking it that day. It was like a whole fucking thing. So I was pretty nervous for that one, but it was still like fairly easy. My English skill is, well, you've heard me talk. I can go on for quite a bit, but I wasn't worried I was going to fail. I was just worried I would like mess something up. And it was a similar vibe this time around. But all of it just felt like way less serious. Like it was still important, but the vibe of the whole thing was kind of like weird. First of all, like it was not at a huge like examination site like it was for my TOEFL. It was at a local grammar school that seemed to take in like teenage students. And what's more, and absolutely funnier, is that when we finished the test, the kind of like person overlooking the test, right? He was like, "All right, everybody, thank you all for," like, he was like, congratulating us all on, like, finishing the test. He was like, "All right, that's time. Thank you everybody for coming by. I'd like to give a big shout out to my buddy here." And he like pointed to one of the guys taking the test. And was like, "Yeah, my buddy here. He's taken the test twice before. This will be his third time. Every time I see him, I say, I hope you don't come back. But you all were lovely, so I hope you do come back." And I had no idea how to take that. Like, it was like, usually I try to say, like, don't come back, but I hope you all do come back. And this was a very friendly guy. Like, I think he might have been Latino as well, but I never managed to clarify. But I was like, yeah, I hope you guys come back. I see you again. And he kind of went on like that. And it was just kind of weird. I can say with certainty that I passed. I got the test results back. I definitely passed, but like, what the fuck was that? What was that? What was that all about? Because, right, like, that test is done. Tests like that are like usually done so that you have, like, at least survival English, right? Because the questions on it were like definitely stuff that you could have like done at like a middle school level. So it was like, they give you like a quick pamphlet of like say like a train line service, and they ask, oh yeah, how much, based on what the information given, what about this, what about that, and you have to do that. So it's not a particularly difficult test. But yeah, what was up with that guy? What was his deal? I mean, honestly, if I had a job like that too, I'd probably want to make my fun somewhere. But like, I feel like there's time, place, and occasion, right? Like I said, I wasn't nervous about this. Some other people taking the test probably were. It just seems like a weird vibe. All right here. But yeah, that's a weird thing that happened to me that day. I also started playing Ghost Trick, and I found out that I'm not very good at it. Yeah, if you don't know, Ghost Trick is a game for the DS, which is, the plot of it is that you are a ghost that can possess different items and cause those items to move. And your ultimate goal is to find out who killed you. I've never finished the game because I'm not very good at it, like I said. It's a lot of like weirdly timing based puzzles. There's not a lot of clues to go around. I'm sure that for some kind of big brain 5 million IQ beast, they're probably not all that complicated. But I had a hard time getting past level 3. It also has a funny little dog in there, which is nice. Right, I'm gonna wing this ray gun bit. Model be damned. Yeah, I think I turned it a little bit more than it's supposed to be, but it's fine. There we go. Perfect. Oh yeah. Because I was worried about like leaving the test site though, I ended up just staying in there. They had like a weirdly bougie vending machine and I ate 2 Cliff Bars out of it. That was like my lunch for the day. That place sucked. Let's see here though. No, hold on, hold on, hold on. Let's try this. I think this would be just a little bit better. There we go. All right, let's turn the lights back on here. Gotta keep track of all the lines, too. Okay. Man, I hate being a dude who's actually like researched guns. So when I was a kid, right, I used to I used to research guns a little bit to draw them because I figured that like because a lot of the games that I played had like a character that had like both ranged and melee weapons, I figured that everybody needed both a ranged and a melee weapon. So I would like look up different gun types and be like, yeah, this character would use this gun, or this character would use that gun, or what have you, right? And during that, I actually did a little bit of like research, right, about like how to hold the gun properly and all that. And the problem with that is that now if I like draw somebody holding a gun improperly, even if I do know like for example, this whole thing, right? It would look much better if like the finger was in there. But I understand that in terms of like trigger discipline, right? You're supposed to not keep your hand on. You're not supposed to like keep a finger on trigger unless you're planning to shoot something right then and there. And knowing this is my burden because, like I said, even if it would look cooler, it would not. Like my brain would just go like, nope, 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 that's not right. That's dangerous. And I'm like, right now the whole point is to be dangerous, but my brain is like, but it's dangerous. It's like this whole thing. Let's see. I think then it might be better to like remove the second slat here and then have it right here instead. You know, the one in the background. Yeah, all right. Then over here. Somebody in the apartment building is cooking some kind of beef with garlic. I can smell it from here. Or they're having a cookout outside for some reason, but I don't know how they would be having something like that in the middle of January. Oh yeah, it is almost the middle of January, isn't it? Tomorrow would be the 13th. Okay. Oh, I like how that chin came out. Let's see. Then over here with the elf here. Man, I never hope I get put in a situation where like the world's fate depends on like me being able to draw a good, accurate looking ear, because I'm gonna fucking fail, bro. Seriously, the inside of the ear is something that's always kind of mystified me. Like, why is it like that? Especially if it's like a non-human ear too. You think I know a damn thing about elf ears? I don't even have ears. No wonder I'm so bad at listening. Let's see. Let me double check the script real quick to see if I'm on the right track. Okay. Yes, okay. What was I doing? Right, the hair, I think. Or maybe the eyes? There we go. Then right here, and then over there. Perfect. I did forget that she has also like a weird hood thing. I don't know what to call it. Like, it's not a hood, collar. That's the word I was looking for. Collar. She has a fairly high collar herself. Obviously, not nearly on the level of Hawks, but still fairly high. Why did I call the word for collar hood? I mean, if you think about it, a hood really is just kind of an overgrown collar, but even then, bit nebulous of a reach. Yeah. I've started growing less fond of those, like, dichotomies, right? Like, like, oh, a taco is technically a sandwich or something like that, right? That's not benefiting anybody. Just me saying that, like, hoods are kind of like longer collars. I feel it's funny. Don't get me wrong, it's funny, but it's not particularly like, it's not adding knowledge to the world. It's a sum negative on humanity's understanding, and I wish there was like an equivalent phrase in English for like the full implications of conocimiento, because in Spanish conocimiento can mean like knowledge, understanding, and stuff like that. But in English, like knowledge and understanding are two different things, which I think is an important distinction. The other day I was talking about the distinction between training and learning. And I feel like the distinction between knowledge and understanding is also quite different. Like, you can you can know, for example, the periodic table. Like you can get conceivably to a level where you can say you know the periodic table, but you don't know, like, maybe you don't but that doesn't mean you necessarily understand the elements. Like, if you try hard enough, devote enough time to it, you can for sure memorize the periodic table, but you don't know what significance it has necessarily. It's not going to be like, you can brute force that memorization, but it might not mean anything to you by the end of it. That's the difference between knowledge and understanding. At least in my opinion, right? There we go. Should I? How do I, like... Yeah, I think that's good for the cheekbone. Just add one little scratch right there. I think that's it for panel 2 in terms of, like, these two knuckleheads. I need to make this, like, way narrower. That's pretty good. Okay. Thinking of making this face narrower. I want to hurry up and do a few more studies soon. I feel like I'm losing my touch again. I feel like for me, anatomy is something that needs to be constantly, it's kind of like how you need to, like, maintain a well-used sword or, like, knife, right? Like, if you go to a kitchen and you see, like, some dude, like, sharpening the knife for a little bit before the shift, that's kind of what I feel I need to do, at least to maintain my understanding of anatomy, is to just be mindful. It's just to, like, every now and again, so often, do a few bits of practice to make sure that it's all kind of in working order. Sleepy. I don't know why I'm so sleepy today. I think I got to bed at a decent hour last night. Wait, no, I didn't. Oh well. It's very strange these days. I keep accidentally doing that thing that accidentally turns the whole layer like a specific color. I know what it can be used for. Like, I know its uses and I know it's useful. I've used it many times myself, but I don't need it right now. I think the bottom part of this could be more bird-like. Pointier, I mean. Right here, here. Okay. Okay, this one's the ponytail one, isn't it? Yeah, this one should kind of have the ponytail swooping over the side like that. Man, something that I'm obsessed with is characters that walk like they're puppets. I used to find it so freaky as a kid, but like now I kind of like it when like a character is like very obviously being moved by a force that isn't themselves. You know, hang on. Let's see, Hawks Sketches Part 2. Wait, this is the part that I want. Hang on. Okay, right. It was like a little tie thing. Oh. I wonder if it's rude to yawn during your own darn live stream. Like, is that part of etiquette? Or are you not supposed to yawn during your own live stream? I think that's not a good sign, certainly, but like, I don't think it's necessarily rude. It's your house. Hang on, I gotta make this square. Mm-hmm. There we go. What's this? Not you, this one. Okay, right. Here. Come on, there we go. Perfect. Bring that on over there. Let's take a look at panel 1 real quick to see how I did it on the first one. Okay. Ooh, I gotta shake this off. It's all well and good to need a little rest right now, but I can't be slacking right now. Maybe if we pick up the pace? That might be interesting. Alright, let's give it a shot. And I'm gonna need you all to bear with me if you hear like the click-clacking of my number pad. I might end up making a lot of mistakes here, and that means a lot of pressing the undo button. Okay. There we go. Oh, Saren's Cushions posture check and hydrate. Thank you. Let me take a quick sip of water. Okay. All right. Let's do it. Hey, how you doing? Let's see. needs to be moved a little bit to the left, or we need to make the plaque a little bit shorter. Narrower, I think, would be a better word. We need to make sure it also doesn't look like a Z. Okay. This is going to go in like this and this. The lace will have to go over the strap right here. Let's see. Okay, and that would zigzag like that. Not bad, just working on some stuff for my own comic. Saw you were working on one, so I wanted to pop in and say hi. Well, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Yeah, I hope the work on your comic goes smoothly too. Yeah. I will say, I feel like one thing that I'm happy that I learned about while making comics is just using and finally kind of having the guts to use the anti-aliased brushes, because beforehand I only used the aliased ones. Although I learned that apparently those don't show up so good on like printed works. Crazy thing, right? Like they're both pixels, but like one of them shows up smoother than the other. Makes no darn sense. Yeah, I mean, so I've heard, right? It's probably not going to be an issue if you're just planning to publish it digitally. But my buddy and I really want to publish this comic physically, at least in some capacity, right? A lot of benefits to having a properly published comic. Least of all, the fact that you actually made something cool. Gotta work on these frills a little bit more. But yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I read it on this one website. I was researching a lot on like the panel like sizes and everything, right? I was researching like how big should the paper be if you were going to put it into print and everything. I found a pretty universal answer was like 11 by 17 inches with like some weird fraction for the bleed in the margin and everything, a safety line. But while I was doing that research, I saw a tip that essentially said, yeah, don't use anti-alias lines because alias lines will not show, like, it'll feel very scratchy, essentially. Debating on whether or not I want to publish it physically or just webcomic. I mean, you could always do a test run with a page. Couldn't hurt. I've actually been meaning to do a test run with one of the pages for trying to use, what do you call, what is the word? Halftone. Yeah, for one of the pages I tried using a halftone thing. I dropped it pretty quickly, and I'm trying to avoid using halftone much, especially for like the characters themselves. I want to try and use solid block colors for that. And I feel like I need to lower these guys down a little bit. Hang on, I want to try something. Something I tried with this helmet right here. Hang on. If I'm going to do that, then first I think the best thing I can do is probably... Well, first to turn into their original heights. Then second of all, figure out, okay, this part here. All right, leggy right here. Okay, I have the arm there. Okay, good. Yeah, I let these guys occupy a little bit too much of the space. Let's compare it to the original outline a little bit. Yeah. For now, I'll definitely just keep it as a webcomic, but I'm just tossing up whether to draw them as physical, then modifying the webtoon format, or just go straight for the long scroll format. Yeah, I find that the thing that's the most tragic about webtoons is that they're very hard to create physical copies of, right? Like, there's this one webtoon I really like that the guy that wrote this actually recommended to me, called Lavender Jack. That is just really good, but the fact is that you can probably never get it. You know, it's not impossible, but highly unlikely that you'll be able to ever get your hands on a physical copy, because it is adapted to that long scrolling webtoon. Oops. No, wait, hang on. What? Why'd you go all the way back up? What the hell? But yeah, it was adapted to like the long scrolling webtoon format. Yeah, there's definitely layers and such. Okay, let's try this. Okay, I'm gonna hide this panel to some extent. And it's weird that these... Okay, hang on. I got an idea. There we go. All right, let's see how this treats us. God, the ruler snapping in the perspective tool for CSP is so very sensitive. Hmm. Okay. So for this part, we would have one bit here, one bit over here, another extra couple bits right here for depth. Then the middle part of the door would be right around here. Over here. All right, let's see if I'll be able to remember what all of these lines mean soon enough. A little bit of a game of chicken with myself. Okay, there we go. I should probably try and clean some of these lines up real quick, just before I get any further. Yep, I see a thing that can be fixed already, like right here. Yeah, I accidentally turned a door in the other page into an MC Escher painting. Actually, would that be the right term? I feel like it wasn't really an MC Escher painting, because like the thing is, right, MC Escher paintings, while very trippy, are 100% mathematically grounded. Like, MC Escher was fucking good at math. And you know, he actually like did calculations, right? Like, okay, so I've got this image here, I want to displace it along a sphere. What kind of like math would I need for that? And like, he had math for that. Like, he had like a bunch of like trial and error and everything, but he eventually did it, and that's how he could get some of like those super mind-boggling effects. What I did is I essentially made one of those like impossible triangles, but with a door instead, by accident. Such is my genius. Yeah, impossible triangles are a lot of fun to draw. Okay, so you go, put your right foot in, you put your right foot out, take your right hand in and shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around infinitely, because it's a paradoxical prism. Yeah, I was doing a little bit of research on Wikipedia earlier on like what do you call those, like continuous like shapes or something, like a Mobius strip and everything, and they can get pretty crazy. Like there's this one called like the Roman surface or something, right? Called that because like the dude who discovered it did it while he was in Italy. It is so weird. Once you get into like the fourth dimension, everything starts getting so trippy. Like it hurt my head to look at it. Like there was this thing called like a Clifford, what do you call, Clifford Taurus or something like that, and it hurt my head to look at. Like it legit hurt my head to look at. Think of it as like like a donut that if you squished it on one side, it can like transfer through to the other side. Yeah, it's it was hard to wrap my little head around. But to wrap my head around it, I did. Eventually. Just looked at the Roman surface. That's so weird. It's so weird. Math is whack. I'm glad I'm not I'm glad I'm an accountant by profession. I may feel that is famously uninvolved with math. It'd be crazy if that's... Oh god. Okay. Technically, I'm not really an accountant, but my training is in accounting, so I technically did study math. Technically, being an accountant is miserable because you're both a business major, which is already a miserable existence, and a math major. I kid. Accounting's not so bad of a thing once you get into it. You just need a lot of like practice for it to make sense, but it takes a while to get there. Oh, wait, that's right. I had like an extra bit of a couple of things here. Here we go. I've done a diploma of business, diploma of music, and now I'm doing a bachelor of animation. Hey, that's pretty sweet, though. It sounds like you've got a whole lot of experience with with classes and everything. I feel like I do think that having multiple majors like that, you meet a lot of people, you get a lot of different experiences. Even if you don't, you're not going to be able to use everything. Lord knows that even in my degree, right, there are some things I still haven't used. Shout out to my developmental economics classes, but it's still like, especially if you're passionate about it, it is so fascinating. I wasn't expecting much from my developmental economics course, but I was fucking fascinated by it because it's all about how like less developed economies end up like having, what causes famines, what causes these friggin' economic crises in smaller economies, and you can see a lot of what happens in a larger economy in there. Not to mention, it had some neat ideas about how to transfer money. There's this neat idea thing called a Rosca, right? That essentially it's like a lottery in a small community. Like everybody puts in a little bit of money, random chance of somebody winning it. Every time you win, your name is taken off the list, and you can't win it again until the next round comes around. Useful in redistributing wealth in a smaller society, but not so useful for actually gaining anything because it's just money that everybody put in. It's not like getting new money in there, which is kind of the basis of growing an economy. So yeah, it has its uses though. Okay, what is going on with this? There we go. I keep telling you, man, these rulers are whacked. I swear I've heard... Hang on. But yeah. I also learned about this frickin' curve. I don't remember what it's called, but essentially it's this curve. I've never really liked CSP's rulers. I like to work with them. No, that's not true. I like the results that they give me, but I don't like working with them too much. It's tough. But for a schmuck like me who doesn't really know much about making backgrounds, they're a godsend. Yeah, maybe that's one of the training arcs I'll need to add to the list, the background training arc. Because I can fill a background fairly easily. Like I've gotten it at a level where I can confidently say, yeah, I can fill a background. But the problem is that I don't know how to like. I still aren't. I still aren't. I'm still not too sharp on like stuff like perspective and everything. I'd like to learn that. I feel like it's good. I feel like it's super important to understand. Like even if you have a tool to take care of it for you, I feel like it's really important to understand what that tool is trying to imitate so that you can have better control over it. And you know, if the tool doesn't end up working for you, you can brute force it into a better shape. Paint tool size rulers are godsend. They're so intuitive and just feel good to use. Huh. Interesting. Paint tool size. Yeah, I've heard of that program. I know that the paint tool size is super interesting because it's like, to me at least, it's a very interesting case because it is a as far as I can tell, it's just like one dude who made it. One Japanese dude who made it, and it's just like one of the leading illustration softwares out there. Yeah, one that I've never been able to get a handle of is Krita, though. I've experimented with like a lot of different free art programs. You know, Paint Tool Sign not being among them. You have to pay for Paint Tool Sign, but I found Krita to be just very difficult for me to adapt to. Yeah, one that I do remember really enjoying was actually Metabang Paint Pro, which if you don't know about it, it's basically like a souped up version of Fire Alpaca. Imagine if like Fire Alpaca clipped Studio Paint's study sheets. It's kind of like that. Okay, door's done. Door stuck. Door stuck. No, I'm just kidding. I'm actually feeling very good about like the panel arrangements in this page so far. I think having a scene like this is just very important. Or like having pages like that where it's just like an easy win for you is important. Alright, this one is gonna have to be freehand though. Although I should probably try and get like a reference for like a huge open what do you call it, like foyer. Hey, it like, okay, my closed captions actually took both foyer and foyer. Wait, hang on. I gotta see what else this works with. Tomato. Come on. Where's the second one? Tomato. Yeah. all right. It's the small things, right? Like you have to be able to grand foyer. Let's see here. No. Why is there? Oh, that's probably the Grand Canyon. Hold on. Let me hang on. Let me get you guys into the web browser source so you guys can see what I see. The first few hits were actually pretty decent, but I'll have to take a look at the pages in advance a little bit. Hang on. Okay. Right. So then, okay, they leap down there. There needs to be a column, like right over here. I think. Okay, yeah, I can kind of see how this is gonna go. All right, if that's the case, this third hit would probably be the best one. Download. God bless the folks at Unsplash for everything they do. All right. So yeah, what we're gonna do is we're gonna like take where this chandelier would be and put a big pillar there. Then widen it out. Let's see. Get in the folder. What even is this thing? All right, bring this down here. Actually, I don't need it to be in the panel, right? I should probably have it outside of that. Okay. Gonna take a quick stretch break right here. Okay. Maybe another quick sippy, why not? Okay. So, how are we for time? Another half hour to go. Okay, we can probably like start the background on here. It's difficult, right? Because some of these panels very clearly lend themselves well to like the character posing and everything, but some of them do not. And those are the tricky ones. Okay. So here's how we do it. We have this kind of like going. Okay, so it's also difficult because this part here will be covered up by the last panel there. I think the best thing to do would actually be to copy and paste some of these lines a little bit here. Bring that down a little bit like that. And then bring that down a little bit like that. Yeah, I think just having that kind of like 3-ring loop there gives it a bit of a touch of elegance. Let's try and simplify these a little bit. Oh yeah, that's simplified all right. 3 vertices? Jeez. Oh, hang on. Erasing them like that got them unsimplified. Let's try that again. Oh, that's an interesting reaction. Okay. There we go. No, wait, hang on, hang on. What's that one phrase? Analysis paralysis. I feel like that's how I get when I have too many vector lines, like vector line combinations to choose from. I'm like, does this look right? Does that look right? It's just a whole mess. Okay, there we go. I think having them be like have only one line would be best. Let's try that again. Actually, an even better idea would be to just use it following the curve of my hand. That way I can at least get it kind of consistent. Thicken that up. Adjust vector line width. Scale up. Oh, right, I should have set the process whole line. Maybe. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, copy the one down here. And copy this one last time and then move it down a couple notches. Good enough. Okay, then the next part would be this railing. Railing would be the right term. Banister? I think it's only a banister once it's starting to go down the stairs. So I think railing was probably the best one. Best word to use here. Okay. I feel like this one almost needs to be like curved a little bit higher, like that. Yeah, okay. I could get behind this. Another one. Okay, adjust line width, narrow this one down. Okay, then actually they need to be fattened up a little bit at the end of right here. Do not process a whole line. It's always something under the other around here, isn't it? Come on, I know you can extend farther than that, buddy. You can do it, come on. Reach the very edge. Hold up. Yeah, no, it should be... Oh, wait, hang on. It's probably because I need to just use thicken rather than scale up width. Oh, yeah, there we go. Much better results. Much, much better. Okay. And tuck that down a little bit. Okay, and then nip it off right there. Okay, right here. I don't need to worry about these parts too much because like these are going to be like doors being flung back right here. Whenever I draw like a scene like this where like a character is just freaking really giving a door the business, I can't help but think of that bit from the Emperor's New Groove where he like just beats the door out and it's like boom, baby. Here we go. Then over here. Alright, let's straighten out my spine. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Come back to me, no, please! I'm nothing without you! Alright, connect vector lines, there we go. Okay, there we go. Huh. Now, does that make it look like they're being blown out, or does that make them look like giant wobbling things of tofu? I think that makes them look a little bit like tofu. Needs to have some rigidity. Yeah, I think the thing is, right, because of the angle, they wouldn't actually like flow outward like that specifically. Like, man, this is why I rely on the rulers, even though they ruin my life. Like they bring to me like an understandable perspective. Okay. There we go. Yeah, that's another thing that I've been wanting to get better about is just incorporating more action lines and blurs into the drawing itself rather than like applying it later. Because I think if you applied with a drawing, it's easy to remember like what you were feeling while you were drawing it. You know, like it's easier to make an expression when you make the expression, right? Like when you physically copy the expression with your face. I feel like it's easier to remember the kind of motion that you wanted for an object if you draw it in motion when you draw it. I feel like that explanation was a lot like that one video. It's like the missile knows where it is because of blah 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 blah. Have a good rest of the stream. Thank you very much. I hope you have a great any time with your comic too. Best of luck to you. Let's see. All right, and right here. There we go. Then up this line right here would be a good idea. How are we for time? Still got a few 15 minutes left. I think we can probably finish these stores and then call it a night. There we go. Perfect. Here we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4 little corners on the door. Let's see here. Ah, I see what happened. Maybe like this. God. Backgrounds are hard. But we move on regardless. Okay, right there. One, two, three, four. Sometimes I get a little caught up in thinking about what the most efficient way to do something is. I find more and more that even though sometimes it is more efficient to do something a certain way, it's like the amount of time you spend correcting for it turns out taking more time than it would have just been to like do it properly in the first place, which is funny. And by funny, I mean absolutely infuriating. But you learn little by little. Let's see. Okay, grab this. Okay, there we go. Then over here. What was I doing again? Right, okay. Now I remember what I was doing. It's weird. Sometimes I don't even forget what I'm doing when I say what was I doing, right? I think for me it's like a way to regain my focus now almost. Like if I say what was I doing, it's like it's easier for me to refocus on my task at hand. There we go. Accidentally took a bite out of the door there with that effect. My bad. I think what also might be dulling some of the action lines is the fact that I've got the stabilization bumped up to 21. Yeah, yeah. You can see here that like decreasing the stabilization actually helped it improve quite a bit. Maybe for these kind of more freehand backgrounds, I can let go of the stabilization just a little bit. Trust in the heart of the cards or something. Okay. Bend the wrists a little bit for more flexibility. I can't believe it's almost already been 2 hours. Although I have done the better part. I have finished one panel and done the better part of a. Well, better part might be a bit of an exaggeration, but I've done part of another one. Comics is hard work. God, I feel like having the ability to draw without stabilization is almost a little bit too freeing. You know what I mean? A little bit too loose for me. Well, it's usually by gaining any responsibility that you learn the fastest way to do it. This much should be fine as well. There we go. Actually, I'm gonna like redraw vector line width right here. There we go. We can actually like tighten this bit up a little bit, just a touch. There we go. Now it looks more like a rolled up newspaper than just like what it looked like before. I don't know what I don't have a good analogy for what it looks like before, but this reminds me a little bit of like what happens when you like roll up a newspaper. Let's see. Okay. I think that from this one it'd be better to start from the bottom to the top. And we can get a little bit efficient with it. Let's see here. Let's see. Okay. Then one more in the middle, down the middle, like that. Should be good. Okay. Let's flip this back around turnways. Right, there's two of these. in the middle. And also not for the bottom part. Oh well, live and learn. Okay, over here. Then over here. Perfect. Okay, this part here would be whole, this part here would be whole. It's only this part with the door handle so it wouldn't be whole. Grab this, goodbye. God. I've never been a huge game show guy, right? I've never really watched a whole lot of game shows. I think I was just in the very wrong, like in the very vestigious of the generation that used to do that. But the one that I will always remember, the one thing from a game show that I would always remember, is the intonation for weakest link. Like the lady would be like, "You are the weakest link. Goodbye." And I don't know, they take them out firing squad style or something. I don't remember what happened to that game show. Like I said, I have very spotty memories of it. Probably wasn't the firing squad. But yeah, that's the one that I do remember the most clearly out of anyone. It's just that one bit. Like I didn't watch Jeopardy, so I don't know. I didn't learn the dun 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 thing until a lot later. Well, we can just put it like straight like that. I think a million leaping out of the door is probably going to cover up most of it. These kind of look like comic pages themselves, don't they? I should probably try to finish up by adding the railing detail, because it's nice to just not have to worry about it until I have to worry about it. But I do have a scheme / clever trick to do this. All right, so for my next trick. All right, let's see here. 1,000 by 3,500 should be good. Okay, so I'm going to draw okay, I know what I need to do. Symmetrical ruler 1, symmetrical ruler 2. No, wait, those don't go work like that. Okay, symmetrical ruler 1. Okay, perfect. Then, right, I need to put this smack dab in the middle. So 3,500 divided by 2, that is 1,750. Right around there. Oh, wait, I can just move it here. Right. And it can stay vertically where it is right now. Okay, so my scheme, my clever plan, my genius idea. Oh my god, I'm tired. Anyway, what I was planning to do is to first get that going, and then I'm going to have a second one going, a second ruler cooking somewhere here. Special ruler, radial line, multiple curls, concentric circle, guide, parallel, blah, blah, blah. No, that's not going to work. Okay, so what kind of... Okay, so if you look at like wrought iron fences, right? Like they have this kind of like leaf design. So I think the best idea would be to increase stabilization first. We do need that back up a little bit. There we... Come on. Straighten out. Straighten out, you little punks. Oh, a grid. A grid might help. Okay, hang on. There we go. Okay, then maybe another one right in the middle? Nah. Let's keep at it with this shit for now. But yeah, these guys should have like bolted bits right here. Filter, view, grid. Turn off, please. This is not a vector layer. All right, try again. I can do this. I'm a normal core person. I'm the most normal man on earth. Okay, there we go. Just one right smack dab down the middle. Smack down the middle. Smack down the middle. Please don't veer off like that again. Amogus. Don't veer off like that again. Okay, and then what we can do, we'll work the rest of this out once we get rid of the grid, because we will do that eventually. All right, here we go. Oops. There we go. Okay. And we'd also need a pair of these suckers at the very ends. View, filter, oh no, view. It'd have to be in halves, so as to not be too thick. I probably could have gotten away with making this just like a lot less wide. Yeah, actually, come to think of it, I'm gonna try something even slightly different. Let's try. Okay, width 3,500. Okay, height 2,000. Now a little bit wider, 3,000. 2,500 would be better, I think. 750, 270, 280. No, that keeps getting taller. 2,000 is too wide though. 2,100, 2,200, 2,300, 2,400. 300 is good. Okay. Okay, object, shift this down. There we go. Get rid of the lines in here that are there already. Get it out the grid. Wrong. Okay. View, grid ruler bar settings. Gap. Let's boost that up to around however many pixels that is. And we'll have to move the ruler back down again. Okay, this part here, perfect. View, grid. It sucks that the lines aren't straight, but it gives it a good, nice, handmade feel. Why is the ruler not centered? Why are you not centered, my boy? After all we've been through, you do me like this? You rotten punk. Alright, one more time. Once more from the top. Thankfully we didn't get much progress on that just yet. I think I'll make it slightly narrower just in case. But more of them. I think that's a good call. Narrower, but more of them. Wait, no, I do still need the ruler. It's the grid that I need to turn off. Okay, there we go. There, there, and there. There we go. Okay, so then I just need to design something in the middle here. Easy enough. I'm just going to Google wrought iron fence real quick. You know, get some inspiration. No, wait, that's not what I'm looking at. Wrought iron railing? That's pretty good. All right. I've got an idea. All right. So just very quickly, I need to make the line... Okay, I need to actually vanish this ruler right here. Okay, that's a good first start. I'm enjoying that line. Okay. Yes, okay. There we go. Okay. We're we're getting somewhere. I don't know where, but we are. Okay, yes. Perhaps you might ask, why are you working so hard on a fence that people will at maximum spend 5 seconds of their life looking at, and may not reappear in any other scenes after this? Well, you see, how do I draw this part here? Okay. I see we're going to have to brute force a couple bits of this. That's fine by me. Okay, simplify vector line. Ui! Isso quedó feísimo. Smooth corner. Maybe right here. Why do you look like that? Oh, it's because these knuckleheads ain't connected, that's why. Maybe now if I try to simplify it, it'll be a little better. No, come on, why are you like this? Okay, I know what, I think I can, okay, I can work it from here. We can do this. This is salvageable. Cool. Adjust line width, thicken. All right, I have to do this side too now. Fuck me. Okay, I think I've got an idea for how to do these next few bits. And then maybe one kind of crossing over from around here. Shrink that down a little bit. Ah, fuck it, it's the future. Wrought iron fences can be as fancy as I want them to be or need them to be. Okay, duplicate that bit right there. Okay. Over here. Good stuff. I don't need it to, again, like, I don't need this to be particularly, I don't need this to particularly make sense. I just need it to look vaguely fancy, and then I'm in. Here's what I can do. Maybe like a cute and cool little sun design right here. As a nod to myself, perhaps. As an indulgence of mine. Actually, you know what would have been a better idea? To have the Gemini symbol be in here somewhere. I can still do that. No, I can't. Actually, yes, I can. I've got an idea. That looks kind of awful. Wait, new better idea. Yes, okay. Here we go. Okay. Then a couple more filler twirls right here, and I think we should be good to try to implement this. Okay. Mm-hmm. This looks like a whole lot of nothing. But with a little bit of effort, it can look like slightly less nothing. And that's where we win. Alright, I think that's going to be good. Alright. We'll save this as fence texture .jpeg.clip.csv. And then what we're going to do, we're going to copy this layer here. We are going to select this bit right here. So we're just going to select all along this bit right here. Oop. Okay. Let's see if we can swing this. If this works, I am legit going to be so happy. Because if this works, it means I never have to draw a fucking fence ever again. Okay. I am going to selection launcher, scale, rotate, copy and paste. Is there a way to make a mask? Oop. Yeah, okay. So then we make a mask right here. Paste this. Oh, what the hang on. Alright. Okay, so we try this one more time, perhaps. Okay, so we grab this layer here. Oh, I see. It's because it also got this part over here. I see. Hang on. Oh, it just grabbed... These layers can be real smartasses sometimes. Alright. Once more from the top. Okay, I'm not sure how to trim them right there, but I'll figure it out. Okay, mask that. Convert to... convert, where's convert layer? Here we go, convert to image material layer. Letting mode normal, okay, nice. No. Okay, so we apply the... I hate this program so much, but I'm learning very little, we're advancing, okay. What just happened again? No, okay. We'll do the selection at the very end. Fuck it. Alright, for now, convert layer, layer copy, image layer. Okay. Fucking, okay, go to this. Tiling, correct. Side by side. Perf. No, why is it uneven like that? Why are you tilted? Oh, wait. Okay. I can work with it. I can work with it. Oh, this is gonna piss me off for like forever. I like that I'm saying this as like the soothing music plays behind me. Actually, come to think of it, upside down might actually suit this place a little better. Yeah, the upside down look for this. All right, so center of rotation, scale / rotate, free transform, distort. Here we fucking go. Perspective. It has to be like a way to guide it along. Oh, free transform. Come on, there has to be a curve. Come on. All right, let's try that maybe one more time. Okay, I'm gonna sit properly in my chair for this one. This is gonna be a serious, rigorous mental exercise. Skew. No, skew is like just on diagonals, right? We want it to curve. Want the sucker to curve like a ball, or perhaps some manner of. And I can't be funny right now. This is just giving me a headache. Okay, no, what am I saying? I can always be funny. Let's see. Oh, actually, that gives me an idea. All right. We just got to get the perspective right, and then I think I know how we might be able to salvage this. Center, okay. Distort, scale / rotate, perfect, okay. Okay, we need to rasterize this sucker. And then we need to do like a mesh transform on it or something. Please, God, let this work. I want this to work so bad. You'll let it work for me, won't you? Okay. It's a shame it's not like in Clip Studio. Wait, no, hang on. I've got an idea. Yes. All right, hang on. Okay, 2 is the minimum we can have, but that's fine. Ideally, we'd be able to get just 1 and have it be like a line vertice thing, but we can work with this, right? Come on. Does that work? If that works, I'm gonna be so happy. No. That does not work. I mean, could work a lot better. That's certainly true. But as for an experiment, I think I'm pretty contented with that. I could always end up turning it into a brush. That would have been a much better use of my time. Oh well, live and learn, I guess. Let's head over to the just chatting screen. I think I'm about ready to tag out for today. Alright, well, thank you all for coming by. Really appreciate it. I hope you all have a great rest of your week. I will be playing Hades on Sunday, so it's these next couple of days off. Alright, everybody, don't work too hard now. Keep it easy. Later. Bye.